Hey YouTube, Rotary here, back with a Scareclaw Dogmatika combo tutorial for you guys. This should be a pretty simple one just because the Scareclaw lines are pretty linear, same with the Dogmatika stuff, and they're kind of just separate from each other, and you just happen to be playing both. But it is nice to know at least what like one Scareclaw name versus two names versus a name and Fenrir can do. So yeah, I'm just gonna do these three little ones for you guys, get you guys the basics. So yeah, let's just hop into it. Start with servant plus one name, which is pretty much just kind of showing what one name does and what Nadir servant does, because they're just kind of doing their own thing, but next to each other in this deck. They don't have the hugest synergy. It's just kind of an engine that doesn't conflict that you can just play. But yeah, so let's hop into it. Start with our acro, just normal summon. Summon our link 1 into our Lightheart. Lightheart can search us our field spell. Our Reichphobia can activate and search us our Reichheart. Reichheart can special summon to under the Lightheart because it needs to be same column or adjacent. Reichheart on summon can search us our Scareclaw Arrival. That you can then activate that to special summon our Scareclaw Acro. Then we have our three materials for our big boss monster, Triheart. After that, we just need to do our Nadir Servant stuff. So we send a monster from extra to grave. This will be our Garura to search our Maximus. Garura, when it's sent to grave, can draw us an extra card. Then our Maximus can special summon itself by banishing our Lightheart is what I usually banish. Then we can use our Maximus to send two cards to the graveyard. Our Farragut and our Epcalone. We then can activate both of them. Farragut to draw a card and put one back on the bottom, so we get to kind of filter our hand a little bit. And then our Epcalone, of course, will search our Schism and discard one card. At the end of that there, we can then now use our Triheart, locking us into Scareclaws, but special summoning one and searching us one. So we can special summon our Acro, search a follow-up Reichheart. So with that, we set our Schism, and then on our opponent's turn, we banish our Epcalone and Reichheart to summon our Winda. So with that, we have just one Scareclaw name getting into our Triheart, and then our Nadir Servant getting us into our Winda. So that's kind of the basics of what the one card combos are if you happen to draw those just on their own. If you just draw like Nadir Servant plus one, or Nadir Servant plus 4 non-engine, you can just make Winda. And then one Scareclaw of any of your 12, just make Triheart on its own, which is super good. I figured I'd show it off together since that's kind of the goal of the deck, is draw at least one Scareclaw and one Dogmatika. But yeah, so that's just kind of a simple basic board. Let's hop into what we get with one extra name. So let me get this out of the way real quick. So the extra deck over there. And here we go. Now, with two names, that is a little bit better, because then we get to start off the same, just normal summon link into our Lightheart. Lightheart, search our field spell. Field spell, search for our Reichheart. But this time, because we have an extra name to special summon, and then to special summon Reichheart, we already have our 3 material for our Triheart, so we can actually search our Twinsa for an extra interruption. Then we kind of go about it the same. Triheart, and then Servant for Garura, search our Maximus. Then you guys know from the first one, so it's Maximus, Epsilon Farragut. So draw off the Garura, draw, put back, and then search our Schism, and that ends up with our Lightheart and our Epsilon Reichheart banished after our fusion summon. Sorry, I'm going kind of out of order. I was trying to shortcut our Dogmatika stuff, but not the best idea. So after we search our Schism, then our Triheart goes to reborn our Acro, bring back or search a follow-up Reichheart, and this you discard when you search Schism. Sorry, I was trying to shortcut that Dogmatika stuff. That didn't work out as well. But yeah, so this is actually what we completely have. We have, instead of just the Triheart Winda, we have Triheart Winda and a Twinsa to pop 2 cards by tributing our Acro, and then we get to banish this from grave. If our opponent's on a link deck, we get to just totally negate any like monster effects that they try to activate, which is super, super nice. And then, of course, we got our Reichheart for follow-up, which is very nice. Yeah, so that's the basic thing with 1 extra name. We get to search our Twinsa because we have the material for our Triheart, which is pretty good. Twinsa, very, very good interruption. Yeah, so let's hop into this last one. All right, to get all this out of here. And then our last one, which I think is probably one of the best hands we can draw in the deck, is Nadir Servant, Fenrir, and a name with 2 non-engine, is like probably one of the best things we can be drawing, because it just has all of our various interruptions. So yeah, we start obviously with our special summon of our Fenrir. I usually activate the Fenrir first to search for our Scareclaw. Because then at this point, if our opponent has a droll or anything, we're not revealing anything else to them other than they might think we're on Kashtira because all we've done is summon Fenrir. So at this point, if we don't get drolled, we keep going. We Acro into our Lightheart. Lightheart, search us our field spell. Activate our field spell, searching our Reichheart. Actually, no, we do not search Reichheart here, actually. I'm so used to it that I didn't think of it. We search any other name at this time, which is a little weird, but we'll get to Reichheart. We can then special summon our other name and special summon our Scareclaw, banishing our Acro from grave. So then we have our 3 bodies for our Triheart. Then we can do our Nadir Servant thing. We ditch the Garura for our Maximus. We get to then draw a card off the Garura. Special summon our Maximus. Banishing our Light Heart. We can then use our Maximus for Fergit Apicalone. Draw a card, put one back. And then search our Schism and discard one card. And then after that, now we can use our Tri-Heart and grab out of our graveyard our Astra and search for our Reichheart. So now we get our Reichheart, which, because we waited and were patient for it, we get to special summon this out, use its effect, and we get its bonus, where if it uses its search effect and we have 3 or more defense position monsters, we get to draw an extra card. So we actually get to search our Twin Saw and then get an extra draw. So now we have probably our best end board, theoretically. Obviously there's other extra deck stuff, but not a ton. This is mostly Dogmatika targets. But with this, we have a Fenrir Banish, a Winda stopping special summons, a Tri-Heart putting everything to defense so they can't attack over stuff, a Twin Saw to pop 2 cards, and 3 cards in hand. So I think with stopping specials, banish 1, pop 2, everything in defense, it's already so difficult to deal with the Winda alone, and with potentially three hand traps to back us up, because we used our Farragut to kind of filter our hand a little, so we probably have a decent chance of having 2 at least non-engine, if not 3. So with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points that they need to interact with is kind of a lot to ask with a 6-card hand. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics of the deck. I didn't want to go too crazy in depth. I just figured I'd speed through this for you guys. The Scareclaw stuff's pretty linear. It's just summon, link 1, field spell, get your material, make your Tri-Heart. And then the Dogmatika stuff, if you happen to not open the Nadir Servant, but you open the Maximus, that's just 1 less card that you'll have in your hand, because then if you do your Scareclaw stuff, then you just banish your Lightheart with your Maximus, and then you just don't get the draw off your Garura. No, you do get the draw off Garura, but you don't get the filter off of Farragut. So you do end up with the same amount of cards in hand, you just don't get the extra filtering. But yeah, so that's pretty much the basics of the deck. Not a super difficult deck to understand. The Scareclaws are all super simple, and the fact that you get to play so many as 1-card combos, and then if you happen to open any 2, you just get to also have the benefit of your Twin Saw, is super, super nice. But yeah, it's kind of a cool mid-range deck. Doesn't set up like crazy unbreakable boards unless you get something like this, but just sets up like a solid few interactions and some floodgate-ish type monsters. Back it up with a bunch of hand traps is kind of the way it plays, which is pretty cool. And then it's super easy to OTK with your Tri-Heart afterwards, if you can just get a few of your Scareclaws on board, because they just give it all the bonus effects in the world. But yeah, that should be about what I've got. Yeah, that's all I got for this deck for you guys. So this is Rogue Tier, signing out.